You know, it feels like every single week there's some new AI tool that drops, and it feels like it's been pulled straight out of a science fiction movie. It's totally changing how we work, how we create, even how we think. But underneath all that excitement, there's this really fundamental question that's just getting louder and louder.
Are we building the ultimate helper, a tool that's going to solve humanity's biggest problems? Or are we accidentally creating a force that could one day just operate completely beyond our control? In this explainer, we're going to cut through all the hype and really dig into the arguments on both sides of this massive AI debate.
So, here's our roadmap. First, we'll get on the same page about what AI even is and its different forms. Then, we'll look at where it's already hiding in our daily lives. After that, we'll jump into the main event, AI as a helper versus AI as a threat, before we finally look ahead to see what's on the horizon.
Okay, so before we can really get into this debate, we've got to be clear about what we're actually talking about. So, what do we really mean when we say AI?
At its absolute core, AI is all about making computers go from just calculating things to, well, to thinking. It's not just about running lines of code anymore. It's about building systems that can learn from incredible amounts of data, that can solve tricky problems, and make decisions in a way that feels a lot like human intuition. And sometimes it's even better.
But here's a super important point. Not all AI is created equal. The AI that recommends your next movie on Netflix, that's a universe away from the killer robots you see in the movies. The whole field is really a spectrum, and we usually break it down into 3 key levels.
First up, we've got narrow AI. Sometimes it's called weak AI. This is basically everything we have right now. It's an AI that's an absolute genius at one specific thing, like facial recognition. But if you ask it to do anything else, it's totally lost. The next step, which is still just a theory, is general AI. This would be a system with the creative smarts of a human. We are not there, not even close. And then there's the one that keeps philosophers and ethicists up at night, super AI, a hypothetical intelligence so far beyond our own that it makes you question everything about humanity's place in the universe.
So if super AI is still science fiction and general AI is just on a whiteboard somewhere, where is AI right now? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's literally everywhere. It's the invisible backbone of your daily life. Seriously, you use it every time you do a Google search or get a recommendation on YouTube. But that same basic tech is also working in fields with much higher stakes. It's helping doctors spot cancer earlier than the human eye ever could. It's telling farmers exactly how to save water, and is constantly scanning the world's finances to stop fraud. It's this powerful, unseen engine that's running our modern world.
The fact that it's everywhere makes one thing really clear. We're using it because it's incredibly useful. So let's start with the bright side, right? What is the big promise of AI as a helper for humanity?
The advantages are, well, they're huge. Just on efficiency alone, an AI can analyze data in a few seconds that would take a person an entire lifetime. That means way fewer errors, whether we're talking about manufacturing something or the super precise world of robotic surgery. But it's not just about doing our jobs better. It's about doing the jobs we can't, or frankly shouldn't do, like working in dangerous mines or radioactive areas. It can even make our world more personal by tailoring education to exactly how each individual student learns best.
But you knew this was coming. That incredible power is a double-edged sword. For every single one of those amazing benefits, there's a risk on the other side that we absolutely have to face. The challenges AI brings are just as big as its promises.
Okay, let's just get it out of the way. The first thing that pops into most people's heads is jobs. And yeah, it's true, a lot of roles that are based on repetitive tasks are being automated. But you know, history shows us that technology usually transforms jobs. It doesn't just eliminate them. For every job at risk, a whole new category is popping up. We need people to train these AI models, to manage the systems, and most importantly, to be the ethical guardrails. The real challenge isn't stopping the change. It's about adapting our own skills for what's next.
But the risks go so much deeper than the job market. There's a really subtle but incredibly dangerous problem: bias. See, an AI is only as fair as the data we feed it. This idea is so important. If our historical data is full of biases against a certain group of people, the AI doesn't just learn that bias, it supercharges it. It applies it over and over at a scale a human never could.
And this bias problem can scale up to create these enormous risks for society. When you combine AI's ability to see patterns with massive data collection, well, you get the recipe for surveillance on a level we've never seen before. We're talking about systems that can track faces, voices, and movements across entire cities. The potential for our privacy to just disappear is immense, and we already have real-world examples like China's social credit system that show how this tech can be used for social control.
It forces us to ask some really hard questions about freedom.
So here we are, standing between this incredible promise and this undeniable peril. Where do we go from here? What does the near future with AI actually look like?
Well, expect AI to get even more woven into our lives over the next decade or so. Just imagine, AI surgeons with superhuman precision becoming standard practice in every hospital. Picture a true personal assistant that actually anticipates what you need based on your habits, not just your voice commands. We're also walking into this new era of human-AI collaboration, where AI isn't just a tool anymore, but a creative partner for artists and scientists.
And really, this all boils down to a simple but really powerful idea from AI expert Dr. Sarah Bashir. AI isn't good or evil on its own. It's a tool. A ridiculously powerful one for sure, but still a tool. And its impact is going to depend entirely on the choices we make, the ethics we build into it, and the problems we decide to point it at.
So, we end up right back where we started, but maybe with a bit more clarity. The real question isn't, is AI good or bad? It's a tool, and the answer is, it's both. The real question falls on us. How are we going to choose to use this power? The future that we build depends completely on how we answer that. Thanks for joining this explainer.